Kids come like this, infinitely curious, always experimenting, always learning, and attacking the most difficult tasks of a lifetime with tremendous gusto. And yet, just a few years later, many of the same children look like this, or this, or this. We have discovered that children's mindsets can lay at the heart of this problem. The wrong mindset can make them afraid of challenges, afraid of effort, afraid of setbacks. The important thing is this: we have discovered where these mindsets come from, how they work, and how to change them. So that's what I want to share with you today. In my work, we find that some kids hold a fixed mindset. They think their basic talents and abilities are just these fixed traits. They have a certain amount of intelligence or talent, and that's that. As you'll see, this is the mindset that saps children's motivation and stunts their minds. But other students have a growth mindset. They believe their most basic talents and abilities can be developed through practice, learning, good mentorship from others. They don't think everyone's the same or anyone can be Einstein, but they understand that even Einstein wasn't the man he became before he put in years and years of dedicated labor. What I'm going to talk about is how do mindsets work and how they can be changed. We did a study of hundreds of students making a very difficult school transition to 7th grade, which is about 13, 14 years old. In my country, this is when the work gets harder, the grading gets more stringent, and lots of kids turn off to school. At the beginning of 7th grade, we measured students' mindsets, and then we monitored their grades over the next 2 years. Look what happened. The students with the fixed and growth mindsets entered 7th grade with identical past maths achievement. But by the end of their first term of 7th grade, their grades jumped apart and continued to diverge over the next 2 years. Why did that happen? First, we showed that the kids with a fixed mindset only cared about looking smart. Look smart and never look dumb. And therefore, they avoided challenging learning tasks and they didn't study deeply in order to learn. But those with the growth mindset, there was no risk. They weren't showing how smart they were. They just dove into challenging learning tasks with gusto, like the babies. The second thing was that two mindsets created very different beliefs about effort. And this is critically important. In a fixed mindset, effort is a bad thing. Students believe if you really have ability, you shouldn't need effort. And if you have to apply effort, it means you're not very smart. They subscribe to Homer Simpson's motto, trying is the first step toward failure. But in a growth mindset, kids understand that hard work and practice, that's what makes you smarter. And they also understand that even geniuses have had to work hard for their great discoveries. So they enjoy effort. It makes them feel like they're learning rather than making them feel like they're dumb. And the third thing we found was that the mindsets created completely different attitudes towards setbacks. In a fixed mindset, setbacks have a really negative meaning. They mean you're not smart. If you were smart, you wouldn't be making mistakes or having failures. So their tendency is to get defensive, to hide mistakes, to conceal deficiencies. But in a growth mindset, there's this realization that setbacks are a natural part of learning, and that you need to confront your mistakes and deficiencies and learn from them. I have to say, the way I got into this field was that I was testing some kids, and they reached some problems they couldn't solve. And one of them said, "Oh, I love a challenge," or another said, "I was hoping this would be informative." And so here were these 10-year-olds having these exuberant reactions to setbacks. Ultimately, I understood they had a growth mindset.